a small North Carolina town, a young pharmacist mixed a drink that would one day challenge a global empire. But first, he had to fight failure, rivals, and fate itself. This is the story of how a small-town dream became a global icon, a tale of ambition, disaster, and a second chance that changed everything. What if I told you the soda you drink today almost disappeared, all because of a gamble on sugar? The story of Pepsi is more than just a battle between two colas. It's a story of incredible highs and devastating lows. Our journey begins in 1893, in the quiet town of New Bern, North Carolina. A young and ambitious pharmacist named Caleb Bradham was known for his curious mind and his popular soda fountain. Late into the night, long after the last customer had left, Caleb would experiment. He wasn't just mixing medicines, he was chasing an idea. Surrounded by clinking bottles and the sweet aroma of syrups, he was determined to create a refreshing, invigorating drink that was more than just sugar water. He wanted something that could aid digestion and boost energy. After countless attempts, he finally perfected a fizzy, sweet, and tangy concoction. He proudly called it Brad's Drink. The locals in New Bern couldn't get enough of it. Brad's Drink quickly became the talk of the town, a local favorite that brought people to his pharmacy day after day. But for Caleb, this was just the beginning. He saw the potential for something much, much bigger. He didn't just want to be a local hero. He wanted a drink that could conquer the world. To do that, he knew he needed a name with more punch, something that sounded scientific and memorable. In 1898, he made a crucial decision. He renamed his creation Pepsi Cola. The Pepsi part was derived from the digestive enzyme pep, and cola from the cola nut, a key ingredient. The name was strategic, designed to convey its supposed health benefits and to go head-to-head with the already popular Coca-Cola. With a new name and a bold vision, Caleb was ready to take on the world. He officially trademarked Pepsi Cola in 1903 and began the ambitious task of scaling up. He started by selling his unique syrup to other soda fountains across North Carolina. His business model was simple but effective. He created a franchising system, allowing local entrepreneurs to bottle and sell Pepsi-Cola in their own territories. This helped the brand spread like wildfire. Caleb was not just a pharmacist anymore. He was a brilliant marketer. He poured money into advertising, plastering the Pepsi-Cola name on newspapers, barnsides, and storefronts. He understood the power of celebrity endorsement long before it was a common practice. He hired the famous race car driver Barney Oldfield, a true daredevil of his time, to be the face of the brand. Oldfield's endorsement described Pepsi as a bully drink, refreshing, invigorating, a fine bracer before a race. The message was clear. Pepsi was for the bold, the modern, and the adventurous. Business was booming. By 1910, there were over 240 Pepsi-Cola bottling franchises across 24 states. Caleb Bradham was a self-made millionaire, a testament to the American dream. He was living a life he could have only imagined back in his small pharmacy. But even as Pepsi grew, a colossal shadow loomed over it. Coca-Cola. The Atlanta-based giant was already a national phenomenon, dominating the market with its massive distribution network and iconic brand recognition. Pepsi was constantly seen as the underdog, the second choice, often ridiculed and dismissed as a cheap imitator. Many believed it was only a matter of time before this upstart from North Carolina fizzled out. But Caleb's belief in his product was unshakable. He was a fighter, and he was convinced that Pepsi's superior taste would eventually win over the public. He pushed harder. He invested more and continued to fight for his share of the soda market. And then, just as Pepsi was hitting its stride, the world was plunged into chaos. World War I broke out in 1914, and the global economy was thrown into turmoil. For most businesses, this was a time of uncertainty. But for Caleb Bradham, it seemed like an opportunity. He saw that the war was disrupting supply chains, and the price of sugar, a key ingredient in his cola, was rising dramatically. He decided to make the biggest gamble of his life, convinced that sugar prices would continue to skyrocket. He began stockpiling it, buying up massive quantities at inflated prices. He poured his entire fortune and the company's profits into this one single bet. For a while, it seemed like a stroke of genius. Sugar prices kept climbing, and Caleb was sitting on a mountain of what he believed was liquid gold. But then, the unthinkable happened. The war ended abruptly in 1918. With the return of peace, global trade routes reopened, and the government lifted its wartime price controls on sugar. The market was suddenly flooded, and the price of sugar didn't just fall, it crashed. It plummeted to a fraction of what Caleb had paid. The very commodity he had banked his entire future on was now nearly worthless. Caleb Bradham was ruined. The fortune he had built from scratch vanished almost overnight. He tried desperately to save his company, but the debt was too massive. In 1923, the man who had created Pepsi-Cola was forced to declare bankruptcy. He lost everything: his company, his dream, and even the right to his own name on the brand he had poured his heart and soul into. He had to sell the Pepsi-Cola trademark to his creditors for a mere $30,000. Caleb returned to his pharmacy in New Bern, the very place where the dream had begun, and lived out the rest of his days as a small-town pharmacist. His incredible journey from a local inventor to a national millionaire had come to a tragic end. The Pepsi-Cola company, now in the hands of others, was passed from one owner to another, struggling to survive and on the brink of collapse multiple times. It seemed as though Caleb's dream was destined to become a forgotten footnote in history. He lost his company, but the world would remember Pepsi. What Caleb couldn't have known was that this was not the end of the story. It was merely the end of the first chapter. From the ashes of his failure, a new company would rise, led by new visionaries who would take his creation and, through daring marketing and relentless competition, transform it into the global powerhouse we know today. One man's dream, born in a small-town Parmarquis, would eventually shake the soda empire forever, sparking the legendary Cola Wars and securing its place in history. The story of Pepsi is a powerful reminder that failure is often not the end, but a necessary step on the path to incredible success. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video. See you next time.